You've watched your rates sink, your costs soar, and now you're being told that a foreign invasion is what's breaking the American freight system. Let me ask you something. Are you losing your paycheck to a carrier with a Mexican license plate or to a broker who won't answer the phone after 5 p.m.? Or are we just losing track of what's really at stake here? What's draining your business isn't what you think. Greetings to you, truck lovers and truth seekers from all across the United States of Truckin. BossMan here behind the golden TIB microphone. Critical thinking fueled by faith and sanctioned by God Himself. Made possible from you and the collaborative think tank for advanced trucking journalism. If you've got a story you'd like featured, email us here at thatstruckinnews@outlook.com. Memberships are the way to support this channel. Consider subscribing and joining today. This entire conversation was sparked by a recent article I spotted in FreightWaves. A piece that caught my eye not because it stirred outrage, but because it pointed out to actual numbers a lot of us aren't really privy to. According to that article, the Small Business in Transportation Coalition is pushing for a total ban on foreign domiciled motor carriers. And at first glance, it sounds like a righteous fight, but when I dug into the data, I found something that most headlines conveniently left out. And that's where today's video begins. Who exactly is the SBTC? The Small Business and Transportation Coalition is an advocacy group that claims to represent the interests of over 14,000 small trucking companies, independent drivers, and industry professionals. They position themselves as a watchdog, fighting for small fleets against the overreach of regulators, the dominance of the mega carriers, and the influence of corporate lobbying. And most of us don't even know they exist, the exception being these articles. Now, in their latest move, the SBTC filed a petition demanding the FMCSA ban all foreign-based motor carriers from operating in the U.S. Their argument states that foreign nationals, especially those outside of our country, are exploiting the loopholes in the authority process and undercutting American businesses. Why does it feel like you're constantly dealing with foreign people, foreign voices, foreign drivers, foreign hands, foreign motives behind every load you get? Well, because the outsourcing, some of the biggest brokers in this business rely solely on call centers in foreign countries. They're using offshore call centers by the thousands. Companies like Lean Solutions Group, based out of Colombia. They have over 10,000 workers managing dispatch, booking, rate calls, and everything under the sun. And they do it for more than 500 U.S. freight brokers. So when you're calling about that load out of Memphis, chances are the guy who answers has never seen an axle, weigh station, or even knows what an American truck looks like. He's following a script from a cubicle 4,000 miles away, and he's paid a fraction of what these US-based employees get paid. And guess what? It's perfectly legal. But it gets worse. The real freight theft isn't coming from these legitimate call centers and the legitimate carriers that use their help. It's coming from domestic brokers outsourcing to foreign companies and scammers who get in the middle of all this. They spoof MC numbers, request loads, underbid you, and vanish right before the delivery even takes place. That's called double brokering, and it's bleeding millions out of our industry. TruckStop reports a 400% spike in these scams over the past 2 years. The FMCSA claims that they can now immediately suspend a broker authority for fraud. But ask any driver who's been scammed, what do we say? Well, enforcement is practically invisible. And while DC wastes time arguing about these foreign companies, let me tell you how many there are. There are exactly 3 foreign companies doing business in the U.S. Does it surprise you? Yeah, let me say it again. 3 foreign companies that are actually actively working in the U.S. The real predators aren't one of those 3. So what's the fix? What can you do? Well, first of all, when you're looking for loads, and when you're looking to broker loads, I'm talking both sides, broker and driver, Always check the MC number and look at the FMCSA safer site. You can find a lot of data right there. Don't trust rate confirmations that come from Gmail. Demand that company domain emails spell out the terms for you. If you want to get paid, that is. If the phone disconnects after 5, chances are you're being thrown to an overseas call center. They're not going to help you with anything, and they're certainly not going to commit to paying you a dime. Report every fraud you run into, if it looks fraudulent, to the FMCSA's complaint line. We've recently taken up a lot of effort to update that line and make the complaints more visible. And for our so-called regulators, well, I got a couple of suggestions. Why don't we fund real broker fraud enforcement? Don't just come out here and talk on What the Truck and talk like you know what's going on when you don't. Deal and liaison with FMCSA directly. Find real problems and solve them in real time. Mandate identity verification for load boards on both sides, carriers and brokers. You'd be surprised what you'd find. And finish the broker transparency rule they promised us 2 years ago. Because if you ask me, that's getting to be a rather old argument, and it don't seem like one of two people can agree on the outcome of said argument. And until that rule gets passed, you've got to stay sharp. You've got to think, well, if a broker sends you a rate con from a Gmail or a Yahoo account, that's a red flag. If the phone number doesn't match the MC number or MC information on file at the FMCSA safer site, walk away. You can't deal with people that aren't going to pay you. The person on the other end of the call can't tell you what a lumper is or where the load's picking up. You're probably dealing with somebody who ain't even in the country anyway. Trust your gut. Verify everything in front of you. Because once that trailer rolls and once you've signed on the dotted line, whether you get paid or not, and what you're working for gets a whole lot harder to figure out. So let me say it plain. Is foreign invasion, the headline it keeps talking about, it's a distraction. 3 foreign carriers did not bankrupt Truckin. Fraud did. Lack of enforcement did, and silence. Those 3 things right now are what are hurting Truckin. And you know what? Just like BossMan always says, silence is our enemy. Do you think banning foreign carriers would help? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to know what you think, and share this video with everyone you know. This is a conversation that definitely needs to happen more often. Let's turn this talk into action. Let's actually get these foreign influences out of trucking. This is BossMan reminding you, silence is our enemy. Knowledge is the power to make trucking great again. Until next time, remember, keep the faith and keep her rolling.